The Hamley Family, written by Roshni Kalati. For young readers age 5 and above. Based on social topics such as responsibility and forgiveness. Peter lived in a scenic small town and had hair that were golden brown. The gleaming light on his face at once lit up the whole space. He was always cheerful and happy, and certainly sensitive and naughty. He dearly loved his mother and cared for his little sister. His father was always by his side, whose back he used to ride. He much loved his family and sheltered them all under the name Hamley. Under the sun and out of the window he glared. Looking at some tiny tots flocking, he stared. "Can I go out to play?" he dared. "No, honey, you are too small and I'm scared," said Mummy. Out of the window, he continued to bleat to the children who played on the street. Now he was unhappy and alone and was beginning to moan. "I've made something to make your mouth water. Cheer up and fill this in your little tummy," exclaimed Mummy. Peter couldn't resist the alluring offer and immediately opened the coffer. He found some delicious tarts and cakes, and to cheer up, that's all it takes. Sunday had arrived, and Peter's mood was revived. As Daddy and him were cleaning the window frame, his little sister was playing a dangerous game. "Why don't you assist your little sister until I bubble bath the window blister?" asked Daddy. "What a wonderful brother I would make if I did take care of her mistake." So off he fled to the yard where Peter could play the guard. Ting tong, ting tong, ting tong, rolling over went Peter to see who's come along. Jumped Peter with cheer and joy, "Look who's come, oh boy!" "Ricky, you're a sight to my sore eyes. With you my time flies," said Peter. The two friends laughed and played, while his little sister stayed. To the garden they went, and with all the toys, they built a big tent. They played with the sword and also a big blackboard. Now they wanted to step out, but Peter had a doubt. Ricky was beginning to get quite upset that his friend did not agree with him yet. He persisted again and again until he managed to gain. Peter gave his sister a little toy and promised to quickly pass by. With a wonderful friend, off he fled to the garden nearby to meet Ed. Tic-tac-toe, tic-tac-toe, oh, how they all began to glow. With the melodious sound of music, they all went with the flow. But his little sister was bored, and the garden gate was not closed. She cried and cried for help, but Mummy couldn't hear and yelled. Woof, 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 entered the stray dog, Pluto. His eyes were filled with greed, and he saw the little girl's blue toe. He bit her in hunger, even though she was much younger. Daddy came running, listening to her squeaky expression, and peeped out of the window in aggression. He took out the first aid kit and cleaned her wound in a split. While Mummy's little bunny was in pain, she searched for Peter in the lane. She found him playing with his friend and asked him to hurriedly descend. Peter rushed inside in a hurry and said, "I'm sorry, oh dear mummy. I'm having butterflies in my tummy." He felt sorry for his little sister and begged her pardon, as he decided to never leave her alone in the garden. His heart filled with remorse, as he promised to put all disciplines in force. Peter felt so sorry, but he couldn't express his grief. So he decided to write a loving letter for some relief.
I love you, little sister, to the moon and back. I'm sorry you're hurt because of my lack. I love you, dear mummy. I love you, dear mummy. I'm sorry I did.
Mummy and Daddy read the letter and broke down into tears. They came together for a smug, for the one big, fat Hamley family hug.
I love you, dear mummy. I love you, best friend Daddy. For we are all connected with the